Greetings to you. Thanks for joining us. It's the Friday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, we will be looking at the Nigeria Premier Football League. We'll also be looking at what is happening in England. It's hotting up, even though it's early days. We'll be looking at the managers speaking ahead of their matches over the weekend. That we'll also be looking at, of course, biggest thing happening in football that has happened in football, the Nigeria Football Federation General Assembly. The takeaway from that General Assembly, we'll talk about that all for you. Well, it's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Okon Akpan, is suited and ready as we take this trip together across the money-spinning world of sports.
What a greetings to you, Yemi, and of course, everyone joining us on the show tonight. Always an exciting, engaging, action-packed world of sports. Right here in England, we're looking forward to the Premier League to continue tomorrow. Can Liverpool keep up with their impressive run? Can Manchester City and Arsenal continue to apply pressure? Can Chelsea prove to us that this season, it's not a fluke performance that we're seeing? All of it, Yemi, we will review tonight on the show.
I will review all of that. Let me quickly introduce, we're going to have a robust conversation, especially when we get to that part where we have the English Premier League. But for now, let me introduce our guest in the Lagos studio. It's been a while that I've had a chance to sit down with him. Babajide Oreva joins us now. Babajide, greetings to you.
Yeah, good evening, Ayo. The NFF Congress is just over, and lots to talk about. Lots of things happened. I saw the 14 points agenda for what they had today, and but things were missing. However, in the course of the conversation we'll have. Thanks for having me.
All right, so interesting things to talk about with regards to Nigerian football. So let's talk about it. Babajide has already set the tone. From the communique released, a lot of interesting things, and I could easily predict what will be number one. Over the years, you know, they're always going to thank the president and the commander-in-chief is what they usually do. But also, let me quickly get your thoughts. We'll take some reactions from that Congress, that assembly today. But your thoughts on some of the things you've read. I mean, communique is out, some of the plans that they have. Babajide here already talking about the agenda that they've set, and of course the fact that they've scored themselves, and I feel 2 years we've done well so far.
I mean, we go through this all the time with their communique after the annual General Assembly, and as you said, it always starts with that salutation to the president. You know, just somebody just needs to be sure that all is well with what they are doing. But I think they acknowledge the expectations that the country wants from the Super Eagles, and that's a very important one. The fact that they know that we cannot compromise qualification to the AFCON and the big one in 2026, which is the World Cup. So this NFF Assembly, they've looked at it and they said, look, we know, and they have assured the government of its commitment to ensuring that necessary preparations are met to meet these objectives, while urging the executive committee of the NFF to prioritize decisions that will further develop football in Nigeria. Prioritize decision. What is the priority of the Nigeria Football Federation in terms of football development in the country? What are they doing for grassroots football development? How are they willing and ready to work with the Ministry of Sports Development? This man, who is the General Secretary, Mohammed Sanusi, has also been questioned. A lot of people say, oh, he's going for a record tenure as General Secretary of the NFF. What contributions has he brought in his time, as GS? A lot of those administrative leadership issues will definitely get us talking. The NFF's financial statements for the year ended 2023 was also approved. We've talked about it a lot of times, that financial transparency must be seen in the Nigeria Football Federation. There must be accountability for all of the monies that the NFF gets, either from sponsorship, from FIFA, from state government. from the ministry, from the federal government, that we want proper accountability. And now that that financial statement has been approved, let them come out and let the public know, all of those things that, we get towards that the monies were used for. They mentioned grassroots football and talent discovery, that they will prioritize it. I read this one all the time. That's where I want to land. It's a lot of talk and no action. So I just hope that this time around, particularly with the minister, now that he has seen that it is very important for us to give attention to grassroots football development, the ministry should find ways to work with the NFF, long-term planning and organization, not just organize competitions or tournaments, and then at the end of the tournament, everybody goes home and nothing is done. We should be strategic about it. We should be results-oriented about it, and we must do it with a long-term objective of keeping football in Nigeria alive.
All right. Let's quickly take some reactions before I get Babajide's thoughts on some of the things Austin has reeled out coming from their communique and what has happened today. We're talking about the General Assembly, annual General Assembly that was held in Delta State. The Deputy Governor of Delta State was on hand and spoke at the occasion. And let's hear his thoughts.
So we are aware of the enormous burden on you all as the decision makers for millions of Nigerians who are lovers of the game of football. Yes, football is beyond the everyday sporting event. It has become a strong unifying game for Nigeria and Nigerians. Football has no age, no religion, political, ethnic, social, or geographical barrier in our country. This is why I call on you today to put the interest of the country first in taking decisions concerning the game of football. Look beyond the ball and see the joy or sadness that will be on the faces of Nigerians because of your decisions or indecisions concerning the game of football.
All right. So there you have it, the Deputy Governor of Delta State, Monday Oyeme, speaking there, and of course sharing his thoughts. Of course, Delta State hosted, as it is now, hosted that. So let me get your thoughts. I know you've read the communique, you've read a lot of things. One that jumps out at me, no more open camp for selection of players to under 17. A lot of all of these issues. Do you say there's also this talk about transparency and all that? We'll get to all of that part, but I just want to get your thoughts. A summation of what you read, how actionable it is.
Okay, just like Austin said, it's just the same thing we hear over and over again. And maybe I didn't like the fact that it's like you scoring yourself. You've written an examination and you're scoring yourself how you've fared in the course of 2 years. I saw the communique. The World Cup qualification process for us is almost like we are not going anywhere. And I expected stronger terms, explanation to Nigerians. Why? What are we doing? At the moment, the Super Eagles, there is no coach. We don't even have a coach for the Super Falcons. And there should be points to actually, we should know. Nigerians should know. Nigerians need to know. Is Eguavon going to be appointed as a permanent coach, or he will just still be as the technical director of the NFF?
Will the experiments continue?
So we need to understand what are these guys doing. And at the moment, I am concerned. Why do we keep having these things over and over again? The NFF Congress is the highest decision-making body of Nigerian football. I expected much more from that conversation. They've all been to, they all went to Delta. We needed much more, but eventually I'm seeing all sorts. And well, I hope that some of these measures, yes, you thank the president, you thank the governor, but what are the actionable points? We are going to qualify for the World Cup. What are the steps we are taking? We are doing this. What are the steps? as we speak, it's just like we are still moving around a circle.
I get your point. I get your point. Some people have said, you can't keep doing the same thing. It's a common thing, actually. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different results. And of course, you can't solve a problem with the same level of wisdom that created the problem.
Yeah.
I just hope that the administrators are listening. All right, it's time to listen to the man. Should I say in the eye of the storm? He's taking an exam, he's scoring himself, and he's telling us everything is okay in spite of some of the things we are saying. Let's listen to current chairman of the NFF, and of course, what he has to say about his 2-year tenure and the direction football is going in Nigeria.
I must say it's an interesting journey so far. As you know, I was a member of the board for 8 years as chairman of chairman, but it is quite a different thing to be a member of the board as well as being the president of the federation, because being the president will make you to be in charge of the entire system. But so far, so good. But as you know, our vision is to make sure that we develop the game of football from the grassroots, as well as to see how we can take our league, especially the domestic league, to the level it deserves to be for the benefit of all. During my campaign, I said, by the grace of God, we will see that the Super Eagles get to the finals of AFCON and qualify to the next World Cup. And to God be the glory, we were at the finals of the last AFCON. Unfortunately, we lost to the host country gallantly. And you see the Super Falcons. They were able to qualify for Olympics after 16 years of exit from that tournament. As well as you saw our under-17 girls. They won bronze medal at the last World Cup in India. And so many other things. And the way you saw our league that is improving, especially the Premier League, you see that now any team can go away and play their match and win an away match and come out without any hindrance. And we also, because we try to make sure that we improve in the area of officiating, especially in the area of the referees, we make sure that at least only competent referees were allowed to participate in our league. And every single train that they deserve to have, we try to make sure that we train them adequately, both with the support of the FIFA and CAF, as well as our internal trainings. Just recently, is the beginning of this season, as we promised, we provide the communication guidance to the referees. As I'm talking to you also, we have some of our referees that are undergoing the bar training in Côte d'Ivoire, which is part of our intention to see that before the expiration of our tenure, we introduce bar into our league. So we are doing a lot, and by the grace of God, we are seeing progress in what we are trying to achieve.
Well, I know leaders have to project optimism, but from where I stand, different phase, same results. That's what I see. I may be wrong, and I'm trying to be corrected. And let me listen to Austin. We could, well, unfortunately, we have just about 6 minutes to end this segment. And so probably after your response, we'll go to Nigeria Premier Football League. So I'll allow you say whatever you want to say. As far as I'm concerned, football is on life support. When you can't answer questions, you're just giving us a scorecard. Can you sit before the media? Let them ask you questions. That is one.
That's it.
A lot of things. You can't just come and say, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. We got to the final. How did we get this issue of funding that everybody's talking about? What can you say about it? The other day I saw on TV, one Chinese company came, they signed something. What are the details?
Exactly.
It's sad, really.
We questioned the Labadia deal and everything and how it went down. You see the way it collapsed. Austin Eguavoen is being engaged now. Yes, we know in his capacity as a football director, but now that he's interim manager, what are the details? What is the tone of finality on his contract? Nothing. The one that even surprises me, I mean, nobody's talking about it. They submitted a budget proposal for 2025. You know how much? 17.6 billion naira. 17.6 billion. That's a lot of money, and with that sort of proposal, then you should be giving justification that You qualify for the World Cup. This is what you do with this is what you do with that. I mean, the audacity to even, well, it's okay to have your financial forecast, but with the way our football is at the moment, there is a lot of explanation to be done. We need to redirect it. We need to redefine it. We need to give attention to that grassroots that we're always calling and we never go to attend to it. We're not interested in building. The other day we talked about infrastructure. The communique captured it again that they have charged state governments to up their game on infrastructure. And I laugh because I was on this show for months shouting, I'm telling Enugu Rangers and Enugu state government that your stadium, you cannot, as league champions, be going to another ground to play football. Did it affect them? Oh, yes, it did. You know, that if you look at the entire Nigeria, that is just only one stadium CAF can approve for football to be played, then it's abysmal. And it's a big shame on the Nigeria Football Federation that that issue has not been addressed, particularly because we know very well that when government need those stadiums now to do their political rallies and other stuff, the stadiums will be ready. So that's a big problem that we need to solve. And I'm glad the sports development was there. He needs to, charge these people to sit up and let's start doing the right things for development of football in Nigeria.
Yeah, we need to move on. I have a question actually. I thought we said the NFF make money. They receive. Well, let me leave that. Let's go to Nigeria Premier Football League. It's a question we're going to ask some other time. Do these guys get money elsewhere? Is it only the government that gives them money? It's a question that needs to be answered. And you're hearing CAF said we've increased this, we've increased that. Where's all that going to? All right, we'll do that some other time. Let me just quickly go across now. Nigeria Premier Football League is what we want to talk about. Match day 5 on Saturday. Kwara United will be up against Remo Stars. Lobby Stars will be up against Shooting Stars. These two matches will be played tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see. Remo Stars currently sit on top of the Nigeria Premier Football League after 4 matches. This is match day 5. Then on Sunday, you have Better Insurance up against El Kanemi. The Flying Antelope Rangers International will be up against Abia Warriors, proper Oriental Derby. Atlant will be up against Niger Tornadoes. Kano Pillars will be up against the Akure Gunners, Sunshine Stars. These are the fixtures. Some of the fixtures for Sunday as well. Nasarawa United will take on Bayelsa United for size. Plateau United will take on New Boys, Ikorodu United. Then, of course, Rivers United will take on Akwa United. I have a feeling this game will be a cracker. It's going to be very, very interesting. Babajide, let me just quickly come to you. You've seen these fixtures. I'm personally picking out Rivers United and Akwa United, but which fixture actually jumps at you? If you're going to tell somebody who loves football, you want to see good football, go to this venue.
Yes.
Which venue will it be?
Okay, so you have to be in Kano. Ahmed Musa will likely play. I spoke with him earlier today, and there is this news that he has signed for Kano Pillars alongside Shehu Abdullahi. I expect him to actually start the game, and of course, he is still the Super Eagles captain, even though he might not be playing at the moment, and then you want to be part of that fun. He's still a major player in the national team, and Sunshine Stars, they can always take it there. Then the Kwara United game against, at home, they are playing the Kwara United game.
They're playing Remo Stars.
Remo Stars, yes. We know Remo, they are top of the table, and this time around it's going to be a tough one for Remo. Despite the fact that they are leading the table, it's going to be tough to go and win in Akure. So I expect both games are what I'm going to tell anyone to see. All
right. So Babajide is speaking. The game involving Kwara United and Remo Stars. Then, of course, we're talking about Kano Pillars. Of course, I don't know what my instincts tell me Rivers United, Aqua United, it's going to be a cracker. And I hope to be proved right when we come back next week to talk about this fixtures. All right, so Nigeria Premier Football League is where we are. We are not going on a break now. We're going to go on a break later. So I'm going to allow Austin. He probably would have escaped it, but he's not escaping it now. I picked out Rivers United and Aqua United. I don't know if you're optimistic, as I am, that we're going to see a good game when those two sides meet.
We'll see a good game of football, and it's a pretty tough one for Aqua United because Rivers United, they seem to be playing so well now. Aqua United tried, they pushed. In that last rescheduled match, the 3 fixture against Eimba, but Austin Oyemachi's goal in the 74th minute made the difference for the People's Elephant, and so the Promise Keepers lost again. So let's just see what they can do. I think they should try all they can to avoid, a defeat. These days when I talk about my darling Aqua United, I stutter, because I do not understand why they struggle to have a good start to any season in the last, I think, 4 seasons right after they won the league. It's struggle. So Rivers United and the way they are playing at the moment under Coach Finidi George shows that they are a strong team. They're a team that wants to compete for the title. They've got a well-rounded team. Everybody's playing well. I saw that goal scored by Ubon Friday against Rangers, and I'm still screaming in my head. It was a sick volley. So all day, every day, I will give this one to Rivers United. But you never know. This is football where anything can happen. So let's see what they can do when they take on Aqua United. I would like to see that game between Rangers and Abia Warriors. That's a good Oriental derby. Rangers also in fine form. They won their last game against Bayelsa United. They had to dig deep to win that one. They are defending champions. So whenever they are playing, teams are coming all out, for them. But they did just enough to win that game. Pictures on your screen right there. And you can see legendary coach Ladan Boso. He's a coach of Bayelsa United now. So I like what we're seeing in the league. We're not just talking about the clubs or the players. We're also talking about coaching. We just hope that administratively we'll get it right, and football in Nigeria we start shining again. Caterpillar Sunshine Stars should definitely get us talking. Sunshine Stars went to Uyo and they got a vital away win. Can they do the same thing at the Sani Abacha Stadium? I don't think so, but this is football again where anything can happen. Bendel Insurance, El Kanemi Warriors, after that stunning performance away in Lafia against Nasarawa United, I'm beginning to have a close look at that team. Let's see what they can do against Bendel Insurance, who is also looking for the points seriously. They won their last rescheduled game, remember. So, that's about it. Plateau United, Ikorodu City. I like the team. I like the fact that they are, a breath of fresh air to the league. Private ownership, it's not easy to have them, come against these guys who have been out here, but can they believe? Yes, they can. The last game wasn't easy, but let's see what they can do. That was against Nasarawa United. Nasarawa United was coming from that embarrassing defeat to El Kanemi Warriors, and they beat Ikorodu City right there at the Onikon Stadium. Can Ikorodu City go to the Jones Township Stadium and do the same? We'll see.
All right, we'll see. All right, let's cross borders. As a matter of fact, travel abroad and go to the English Premier League. That's our next port of call. We're going to spend the time we have left on the show to take a look at the English Premier League and everything happening around that. I'm just going to go across the screen right about now and reel out the fixtures. And of course, we'll talk about it. Then, of course, we'll also bring in our second guest who will be joining us later on the show. But first, let me just quickly go across the screen and talk about these fixtures. I'll get Babajide's thoughts on of course, the fixtures. Then, of course, we'll bring in our second guest on the show tonight. All right, so I'm just quickly going to go across. Tomorrow, match day 7 in the English Premier League. And this is what you have. Crystal Palace will take on Liverpool. We'll talk about that. It's going to be at Selhurst Park. We'll talk about that game. Arsenal will take on Southampton. Brentford will take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. You have Leicester City will take on Bournemouth. Defending champions Manchester City will be up against Fulham. Kevin De Bruyne still not fit, and of course Rodri is going to be out for a long time. Then Aston Villa take on Manchester United. Chelsea taking on Nottingham Forest. Then you have Brighton take on Tottenham. Babajide, let me get your thoughts on some of this very interesting fixtures. Which one do you want to talk about? Liverpool, Crystal Palace? You want to talk about Arsenal, Southampton?
I'm excited for Arne Slot. So far, 8 games, you've won 8 out of 9. No Liverpool manager has been able to achieve that. And tomorrow, they go to Selhurst Park to take on Crystal Palace. Bottom table, Crystal Palace. It will be tough because I expect Crystal Palace to now begin to battle, to fight for the points. However, definitely Liverpool will likely carry the day. Then for Chelsea, maybe the Blues are beginning to get their bearing in the league. And in the last 2-3 games, they've been winning. Hopefully, they could defeat Nottingham Forest. But however, nothing to take away from Forest. It's going to be a tough one for the Blues tomorrow.
All right. So let me just quickly yield to Austin to bring in our guest and also give us his views on that, especially what's happening with Erik ten Hag. We are hearing the owners saying, of course, the owner of Ineos, who's also part of the owners of Manchester United, saying, look, it's not up to me to decide Ten Hag's fate. And if that is being said about a manager, it's going to happen at some point.
The signs are there.
Well, we say this all the time, but on local radio today, I was hearing that Ten Hag is not your average cat with 9 lives. It's got about 15 or 20, So I said it. I had to put it on my socials that Harry Maguire just suspended whatever announcements we're expecting to hear today when he scored that equalizer. But let me bring in my football analyst right here in London, United Kingdom, with me. He's a football analyst and a big fan of Liverpool. Alex Ogbeche joins us live on the show. Alex, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Austin. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Before we get into Erik ten Hag, let me let you, talk about the club you love so much, and that's Liverpool. It's Crystal Palace versus Liverpool at Selhurst Park. Now, before you rush to say because of your fine form that Liverpool will win that game, let's go back to April 14, 2024. At Anfield, it was Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1. So is this going to be another difficult game for the Reds?
Well, thank you. I'll be honest. I think the fact that it's an early kickoff and it's just before an international break, it has all the key ingredients to be a cracker. I think a lot of people are shocked by Crystal Palace start, especially because they finished last season very well. They lost 2 key players, Olise and Anderson, and that's hampered them. It's going to be a tough game for Liverpool because the other end of the spectrum, Liverpool, were flying. 5 wins in 6 games, and more crucially, only 2 goals conceded. So if I was a betting man, I would say Liverpool win. But Selhurst Park can be a very intimidating place. So I would say a narrow win for Liverpool. But yeah, we'll take 3 points.
And I'm looking at this Liverpool team. Is it about this new style of play we're seeing? Is it about the new coach Arne Slot, or you just sort of put it on a change of mentality by the players?
I think it's a combination of both. So the coach has come in, and you can already see his fingerprints all over the team. The change in formation has helped. The rise in players like Luis Diaz, Ryan Gravenberch, that's helped. The high levels of the likes of Van Dijk, Salah has definitely helped. So when you combine everything, it's been very commendable. He's a coach. He came in and he said he's a coach. He wants to coach the players, and that's what he's been doing. And so far, so good. But I might just add this little point. We've not really played difficult games apart from Man United, and we know Man United right now are not really a difficult team to play against. So I think I'll just pump the brakes a little bit. Then when we get to the end of November, December, we'll see if Arne Slot is the real deal or not. But so far, so good.
All right, welcome back. Austin left us with a cliffhanger. Wanted to know what my thoughts are, what Jide's thoughts are. And like the smart guy that I am, I'm going to shift it to Baba Jide. is going to tell us his thoughts. That's my way out, my way of escape from Austin's chokehold on the show tonight. Babajide, your thoughts. Henrik ten Hag, is he a regular cat with 9 lives, or he has 15?
I don't want to imagine the patience of. I used to think it's Arsenal that has that patience. I don't know. I feel by now he should have sadly been told to leave. Manchester United have struggled, and there are some results they get these days. You just wonder, is this the Manchester United you actually know? If you see the attack, you will be concerned that there is something probably not right with Marcus Rashford. You just see psychologically there's something not clicking with the Red Devils. So personally, I feel it could be a management level. But if we look back to when Cristiano Ronaldo was there were things he revealed. Possibly, I feel there is a whole lot, but I think maybe if they lose to Aston Villa tomorrow, he might be leaving.
All right. Probably Thomas Tuchel somewhere sipping some brandy. Maybe he's met with Radcliffe. Who knows? I don't know. But I guess I just leave it at that. Let me allow Austin continue. What is he saying with our guest over there, who's probably going to be very happy talking about Liverpool, maybe until the big games come. But I think it's a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. I think Ten Hag's days are numbered.
I'll leave that conversation because we'll get to it. We'll listen to Ten Hag. But let's listen to Analysts. He's been speaking ahead of that game against Liverpool and against Crystal Palace. And we'll come back and get Alex to react to it.
Yeah, you always look at the first one, and that's Crystal Palace. And I think they already showed how tough of an opponent they are against the big teams like United and Chelsea. In both situations, they got a result. So that's the first game, and that's why it's the most important one and the difficult one for us. 12:30 kickoff after playing at Wednesday evening late in the Champions League. Facing again a team that has a whole week to prepare, but that is part of working at a top club that we face those teams and we have to be ready for those teams, and that's what we are tomorrow. And I don't look at it at this moment about 1 point, 3 point, 4 points. It's after the weekend, then it's interesting to look at the league table and not after the game we've played. I think why players play well has first of all to do with the quality they have as a players. So Mo has a lot of quality, Ryan has a lot of quality. Actually, every player that plays here has a lot of quality. Now it's up to us, and I say us because not only me, my staff, it's also the players, to play in the best possible way as a team, and then individuals will do special things. So it was an unbelievable finish from Mo, but the only reason he got the chance to finish was because Trent Alexander-Arnold made an overlapping run, and that's why it opened up on the inside. And yeah, if you give that space to Mo, then he can do, and then he can score a special goal. So again, that's about his quality. It's about Ryan's quality, but the amount of time Virgil or Ibu plays balls through to Ryan, where Ryan can turn and then he can play his balls towards all the good attackers we have. That makes it, in my opinion, a team performance, which is really well. And then, yeah, as a result of that, you see individuals playing good also.
Sorry to So that's it, Liverpool's manager. And Alex, I just had a quick look. Our last 5 matches, Crystal Palace just 1 win, Liverpool 5 wins in 5. Is this game over? Should we just close shop on this one?
No. It's definitely not over. And I like what Arne Slot said. He did mention that they drew Chelsea and Man United. And even though Liverpool are on a different level to those two teams, on their day, Crystal Palace can frustrate their opposition. So we just need to be very careful. Like I said earlier, if I was a betting man, it's a win for Liverpool. But this is the Premiership. Anything can happen.
We'll see. Another tricky game is Arsenal taking on Southampton. And we know these stories, how they go, seasons ago. But with the way the Gunners are playing at the moment, you don't want to see this one as anything that will bug them. I'll get Babajide speaking, but that's after we listen to Mikel Arteta, who's been speaking ahead of that crucial game against Southampton.
very needed at this level because we know the quality and the opposition that we face every week in the Premier League, and they have seen in the last 2 days what they do, what we have to do against them to earn the right to play, and they are very aware that it's going to be a very tough match. And every manager had a choice to do that, but I can tell you that the result that he's proven are there. It's clear, very clear identity, very clear way of playing, and very successful. It's up to the manager. What I can say, watching it, analyzing it, that they are really good and that he's really good.
Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta, talking about that one against Southampton. Babajide, just as I said to Alex, with the Liverpool Crystal Palace match, this one also, with the way as the Gunners are playing, should we just face front and just look out for the results?
Okay, so for the Saints tomorrow, Southampton can be dicey. They can be funny, and it could be a dicey game for the Gunners tomorrow. We know Arsenal now, they're back to their best. I hope they will be able to live up to expectation tomorrow. But I strongly feel Southampton will give them the run for their money.
All right. So we'll see what happens with that one. But let's quickly talk about Manchester City now. That's probably our last port of call, maybe. But let's see if we have time. Manchester City have a couple of players injured, but a lot of people not sympathizing with Pep Guardiola. They're saying, look, he has a very, very big squad. He should be able to deal with whatever issues he has. Of course, he has 3 of his players injured. Kevin De Bruyne is not going to play. Rodri, obviously, not going to play. The young Norwegian, Oscar Bob, obviously with a long-term injury as well, not going to play in that game. But some will say it's Fulham. So let's listen to the thoughts of Pep Guardiola. Here's Pep Guardiola sharing his thoughts ahead of that game.
But the best way to defend is doing our job the best. Every people working here has his own responsibility. My responsibility is try to hold my players in their hands and together to win the games. And this is the best way to defend. The rest, of course, there are situations in 8-9 years that always is there. Some of them unexpected, some of them is more tough to deal, but it's what it is. So there's no complaints and do what you have to do. And of course, I'm part of this club, so not just the manager. I'm part. I love this club and always will be that way because cannot be differently for the way they treat me since the day one. So it's impossible. When you give something and they give me a lot, the rest is just, it's the consequences. Simple. I would love to say like we won 60 games in a row. We're going to start the game 2-0, going to win. Only I say the record is the last 6 games since the first defeat in United game. They didn't lose. The best moment of Fulham from I would say this season, the previous seasons is there. Marco Silva's already a few years there in London, and they bought interesting players there, especially Anderson, experienced guys. So, and it's a team always at home, especially always created problems in the first half a lot.
A lot of things I could say about Pep Guardiola, but we really don't have time. So let me just throw this to Alex. Probably it's going to be his parting shot because we're running out of time. But Alex, let me just ask you this. Pep Guardiola said, what we listened to just a few seconds ago, said, look, no complaints, just get on with it. Do you think that's what it should be? Those 3 players that I mentioned shouldn't really affect the expectations the sporting world has of Manchester City?
Well, 100%. City are City. You just can't rule them out. When you think they won't produce, they tend to produce, and they've got a robot up front, a freak of nature in Haaland, and you just know that when the chips are down, he will score the goals. And saying that, Fulham have had a very impressive start to the season with 3 wins and only 1 defeat. Raul Jimenez seems to be back to his best. Emil Smith-Rowe looks to have settled in properly. So, and they've got a whole week to prepare for this. They had a whole week to prepare for this game. So it's a very intriguing fixture. But like Pep Guardiola said, this should be business as usual. You can't really sit down and lick the wounds. So I expect a narrow City win.
We'll see. Alex, before we let you go, I'll give you an opportunity to talk about Manchester United before we get to listen to Eric Ten Hag. What's your take, particularly with the results that we've seen? Do you think Aston Villa can add to their woes?
No, I think Aston Villa will definitely add to their woes. Aston Villa have just come up with a historic win against Bayern Munich midweek. So Villa Park is going to be rocking. Eric Ten Hag seems to be a dead man walking. There's a report that came out earlier today that said the owners, Ineos, are calling a meeting for Tuesday next week. And I think that's probably where they will part ways with Eric Ten Hag. He's won a few cups for Man United, so they should be happy, but he's not just good enough.
Alex, we'll wait and see. I bet you might just come back to say they gave Eric Ten Hag a hug and said, look, you're still the man for the job. Thank you so much, Alex, for your time on the show. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. So that's it. I mean, I don't know if we've got some time to listen to Eric Ten Hag, who's been speaking ahead of that clash against Aston Villa.
Well, I don't think we have, but let me just allow Babajide. It would be unfair to allow a juicy topic like that go. So in 30 seconds, do you think he's dead man walking? Quickly.
Ten Hag
Yes.
is leaving.
He's leaving.
I feel he's leaving. If he doesn't get a win tomorrow, it's good as gone.
Likely successor?
For Manchester United, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to predict. Let's hope they will just get someone that can bring back the Manchester United that we used to know.
It's not going to happen this season. All right, let's leave it at that. There were talks that Thomas Tuchel was close to getting the job. So that's the name that keeps popping up in my head, but you never can tell. So we'll see what happens with that one. But Austin has his ears to the ground, so let me allow you to have your last say. What are you hearing?
Manchester United fans are whispering. They're not confident about it, but they're saying that they wouldn't mind to have Jurgen Klopp to come take over. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I strongly believe that the board will keep ETH. I don't know why they like him, but I think some way, somehow, he might just find a way to turn it around. But I mean, they've been so shambolic. Let's see what they can do against Aston Villa. I mean, this is football where anything can happen. We're expecting Ten Hag to get off the job last season. He went on to win the FA Cup. The board said, look, you're staying. I'm sure they typed his letter last night, but Harry Maguire said, no, this man has shown me love. So he's not going anywhere. It's all love. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, just for laughs, when any club say they got your back, the axe is coming. So you never can tell. All right, it's a wrap here, but I have to quickly thank Babajide Oreva for his time on the show. Hopefully we'll do this again.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, that's the show. Of course, we're going to leave you with highlights from the Shanghai Masters. Enjoy it. You see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.